Hey everyone, my name is Jonathan. I'm the Minister of Students here at First Baptist. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. We are on the verge of returning. We don't know when that is, but it is just around the corner. I think just a few short weeks. And so I cannot wait to see you. You'll hear more details about that. Again, we don't know when that is, and it could change any given day. But it is on the horizon, so we are looking forward to that. This video, the purpose of this video is to kind of outline our Sunday school lesson for tomorrow, which is May the 10th. And so we are going through this series in our curriculum, Bible Studies for Life, and it's talking about dealing with messy relationships. And we talked about what it means to love. And last week we talked about encouragement. And this week is one of those that it is easier said than done. It's one of those, like, I wish we could just kind of skip it because it's kind of tough. And when I say kind of tough, I mean really tough. And that is talking about forgiveness. And so the main point of our lesson this week is that relationships grow deeper with forgiveness. So let me ask you a question. When has it cost you a lot to fix something? When has it cost you a lot to fix something? You know, when I think about that, my mind immediately goes to actual cost. When I was in college, when college kids make stupid decisions, I more or less had a bad judgment, and I made a promise to pay something with money that I did not have, if like for goods and services, and I didn't have the money. And when the deal fell through, it wasn't anything illegal or anything like that, but when that fell through, I was left with the whole of the income. And we're talking a couple $1,000s. And so as a college student, I had to take on extra shifts. I had to work overtime just to get this behind me. It was tough knowing that I wasn't going to see that money coming in, but I knew that I had to do that to right the wrong. And so when we look at forgiveness, it's a similar concept. It's a similar way, is because there may be no apology. There may be some action that has been done to you or in reference to you, and you may think there is no way that I can do that. And the short answer is you're absolutely right. You can't. But the good news is that through Jesus we have the ability and the power to do that. So the verses that we're going to be looking at is Matthew chapter 18. Matthew chapter 18, beginning with verse 21. Then Peter approached him and asked, "Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? As many as 7 times? I tell you, not as many as 7, Jesus replied, but 70 times 7. For this reason, the kingdom of heaven can be compared to a king who wanted to settle accounts with his servant. When he began to settle accounts, one who owed 10,000 talents, a day's wage, 10,000 talents, was brought before him. Since he did not have the money to pay it back, his master commanded that he, his wife, his children, everything he had to be sold to pay the debt. At this, the servant fell face down before him and said, 'Be patient with me, I will pay you everything.' Then the master of that servant had compassion, released him, and forgave the loan. The servant went out and found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 denarii. He grabbed him, started choking him, and said, 'Pay what you owe.' Then after he had summoned him, his master said to him, 'You wicked servant, I forgave you all that debt because you begged me. Shouldn't you have also had mercy on your fellow servant as I had mercy on you?'" So here Jesus is telling a story about where a king had forgiven a servant, but the servant didn't turn around and forgive a much lesser debt. In Luke chapter 7, it talks about how a woman who had been forgiven much has the ability to love much. All of us are sinners before God, but in Christ, he has forgiven us of those sins. And so now we have the opportunity to forgive others. I don't know where you are. I don't know that story. But I do know that there is oftentimes a wedge in between you and somebody else because of a situation. And we are so much looking forward to, we're looking for that apology. We're looking for them to right the wrong. But sometimes that doesn't happen. So we have to forgive anyway. And that's tough. And so what I want to encourage you to do is to think about somebody in your life and think about what have they done that has just kind of driven a wedge between you and them. And I want you to forgive them just as Christ has forgiven you. Think of the saying like, I love you, but, I love you, but that whatever comes after that, that three-letter word, that B-U-T, that says almost more than those first three words, I love you. And so what I want to encourage you to do is to forgive. Building and mending these relationships has to have forgiveness as a component. And so what I challenge you to do is to, like I said, think about somebody in your life that you can forgive. And I want you to reach out to them and say, you know what, you've wronged me in this way, and I've been holding a grudge against you, but I forgive you, and we are moving forward. And so if you do that, what I want you to do is to text me the word forgiveness. Text me the word forgiveness. It can be student or parent. And the first person to text me the word forgiveness, demonstrating that they have reached out to somebody and mended a relationship, I will give you a $10 Chick-fil-A gift card. There you go. $10 Chick-fil-A gift card to the first person that text me the word forgiveness as a result of you reaching out to somebody and mending that relationship. Our memory verse for this week is 1 Corinthians 13:13, and says, now these three things remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. Just remember that this Mother's Day. To all you moms out there, happy Mother's Day. Thank you so much for what you do at home and balancing life, and we appreciate you. And happy Mother's Day. I'll see you soon.